Namaste students, welcome back to the class. Today we are going to discuss about the mutation. This is the first topic of discussion today. So what is a mutation? See, mutation is a phenomenon which results in the change in the DNA sequences. Change in the DNA sequences and which in turn results in the change in the genotype and phenotype of an organism. So, what is mutation? It's a phenomenon which results in the change in the DNA, change in the DNA sequences, change in the DNA sequences and which results in the change in phenotype and genotype of an organism. So, because of the mutation there will be change in the phenotype and genotype of an organism. So, how we will define mutation? Mutation is the phenomenon in which the change in the DNA sequences occurs which results in the change in the phenotype and genotype. So, here it's DNA sequences. So, what is mean by DNA sequences? You know that DNA or deoxyribonucleic acids, okay, deoxyribonucleic acids are made up of polynucleotide chains, right? Polynucleotide chains means the DNA contains or made up of many nucleotides, correct? Those nucleotides what we refer it as DNA sequences or DNA base pairs anta heltave, okay? Nucleotides is nothing but DNA sequence or DNA base pairs anta heltave. So, there will be change in the nucleotides or DNA sequences or in the DNA base pairs. So, it results in the change in the phenotype and genotype of an organism. So, this is the mutation. And you know that recombination is one of the reason for variation in DNA, correct? Recombination is one of the reason for DNA variation or variation in DNA occurs due to the recombination. This you have studied, and this mutation is also another reason for the variation in DNA. Okay, DNA variation aglike recombination is one of the reason. Along with the recombination, mutation is another reason for the variation in DNA. Okay, and how this mutation takes place? Mutation is induced by some of the factors. They are called as mutagens. Okay, mutagens are mutation inducing factors, or you can say any physical or chemical factors, that induce mutation, are called as mutagens. Mutagens may be physical like UV radiation, or it may be chemical agent also like nitrous acid. So, the mutagens are mutation inducing factors or agents, and mutagens may be physical like UV radiation, or some are chemical, or they are like nitrous acid. Okay, so this is what the mutagens are. Okay, so mutation it results in the change in the DNA sequences, correct? Change in the DNA sequences. So, DNA sequences is nothing but the genes, correct? Some length or small fragment of DNA is nothing but genes. So, genes also gets altered or changed. So, when genes are changed, then automatically chromosomes are also getting changed because genes are present on the chromosomes. So, when there is a change in the DNA sequences, then it results in the changes in the genes, because a small fragment of DNA or small piece of DNA is nothing but the gene, and when there is a changes or alteration in the genes, that results in the changes in the chromosomes because the genes are present on the chromosomes. So, because of the mutation there will be changes or alteration in the chromosomes itself, right. So, it is also called as chromosomal abnormalities. So, when there is a change or there are some changes in the chromosomes, then that phenomenon is called as, or condition is called as, chromosomal abnormalities or chromosomal aberrations. Okay, chromosomal abnormalities or chromosomal aberrations. Okay, so we will discuss the aberrations or some of the abnormalities later. So, this is about the mutation, and you have two types of mutation. There are two types of mutation. One type is called as point mutation and another type is called as frame shift mutation. These are the two types of mutation. One is point mutation, second type is frame shift mutation. So, what is mean by point mutation? Point at one particular DNA base or at one particular DNA sequence. So, point mutation is due to or it results in the change in single base pair or in single DNA sequence. So, when there is a change in the single base pair or single DNA sequence or single nucleotide, then that type of mutation is called as point mutation. Okay, point mutation anta helteve. Example is sickle cell anemia. This is one of the chromosomal abnormality or disorder due to the change in the single DNA sequence. Okay, we will discuss later. Sickle cell anemia is due to the point mutation, change in the single nucleotide or single DNA sequence. And another type is frame shift mutation. Frame shift, here, say here it's a single base pair, but here due to the many DNA sequences. So, frame shift mutation is due to the change in many base pairs or many DNA sequences, or many nucleotide gets changed or altered. Okay. So, what is mean by alteration here? Some of the DNA sequences may be deleted, andre delete agi hogbodu, gets deleted, or some may be inserted. Inserted means added. So, this frame shift mutation is due to the deletion or insertion of more or number of DNA sequences. Okay, number of DNA sequences yavaga delete agtade athava insert agtade, then that type of mutation is called frame shift mutation. Okay, and the mutation is always, it's hereditary. It can be inherited from one generation to the another generation. That means the changes that occurs in the genes or the DNA sequences due to the mutation, it gets inherited to the next generation. This is about the mutation. Next topic is pedigree analysis. Okay, pedigree analysis. So, as I told, some of the chromosomal changes or chromosomal disorders, or you can say some of the traits or some of the diseases, those can be inherited from one generation to the another generation, correct? So, those diseases or some of the diseases or traits can be transferred or transmitted from one generation to another generation. This is what we call it as heritable characters or heritable traits. They are inherited from one generation to the another generation. So, in some of the plants, or you can say in plants or in some animals, the crosses can be controlled. Okay. So, we can perform the controlled crosses, but in case of human it is not possible, right. So, after the rediscovery of Mendel's work, some of the scientists started to trace the inheritance pattern of some of the traits in human beings. Okay, some scientists, after the rediscovery of the Mendel's work, they started to trace or started to study the inheritance pattern of some of the traits or disorders in case of human beings, since the controlled crosses are not possible in case of humans like the plants or some of the animals. Okay. And to detect or to trace the hereditary characters, or you can say some of the traits those are inherited, to trace that this pedigree analysis helps. So, the pedigree analysis is nothing but the study of family history. Okay, study of family history about the inheritance of any traits. Okay, when particular trait is considered, then to trace the inheritance pattern of that particular trait, the analysis of family history is important. That means studying the family history. That means history of the family. Okay, we need to study the different generations and how that particular trait gets transferred or transmitted from one generation to the another generation. That study of family history about the inheritance of particular character is called as pedigree analysis. Okay, is called as pedigree analysis, analyzing the family history. Okay, so study of family history to trace the different heritable traits or disorders, we can say. And this also helps, the pedigree analysis also helps to trace some of the diseases, okay, genetically transmitted diseases or some of the disorders, or what we called it as chromosomal abnormalities. Those can be studied using the pedigree analysis. And in this pedigree analysis, there is a chart like family tree that is drawn or that is used to study the inheritance of that particular trait. So, that chart, or we can say family tree, okay, family tree or the chart which is used to analyze or to study the family history of an individual, then it is called as pedigree chart. Pedigree chart is the family tree. Okay, family tree. This pedigree chart shows many generations and it also represents the inheritance of that particular trait in each generation. So, this pedigree chart or family tree also used in pedigree analysis. And as I told, it's a pedigree chart or family tree. So, how this family tree or pedigree chart can be drawn or how it is represented? See, in pedigree chart or family tree, we don't use any sentences or any words. Instead of words, we just use symbols. Okay, we use symbols. ಬೇರೆ particular symbols ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ವರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದೇನು ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪೆಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಚಾರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ used in the pedigree chart. These are some of the standard symbols used during the pedigree analysis or in the pedigree chart. So, these are the symbols used to represent the family tree or pedigree analysis ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇದು. Let us discuss one by one. See, the first symbol, which is a square. Okay, square represents the male. Male individual is indicated by square. And next, circle. Circle is female. Okay, symbol circle represents female. And diamond. This diamond symbol indicates that sex is unspecified, whether the female or male, we don't know the sexuality of that particular individual, then it is called as sex unspecified, which is indicated by the diamond shape. See, in some generations or in few generations back, we might confused like whether that individual was male or female. We don't know the sex particularly. So, in that case this diamond shape is used in the pedigree or family tree. And next, the square with shading, or you can represent it using this lines also, shaded square that indicates the affected male. Okay, when there is a disease or ಡಿಸೀಸ್ಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಥರ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಈ ಥರ ಶೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ದಿ square, then it is affected male, because square is the male, correct? The shading indicates it's affected male. And next is circle with the shading, it's affected female. And diamond, and inside the diamond it's written 5. Okay, diamond shape, diamond symbol, inside the diamond 5. That means here the diamond means sex is unspecified, right? Sex is unspecified, but inside that 5. So, it's 5 unaffected offspring. So, affected means we will indicate it by shading, but here no shading. So, it's 5 unaffected offspring. You don't know whether it's a male or female. So, we will indicate it by diamond. So, 5 unaffected offspring. And next comes this. See, the square indicates the male and circle indicates the female, and there is a line between male and female, then it is, or it indicates the mating, or you can say marriage, okay, or cross. So, cross is indicated by drawing a line between square and circle, and instead of one, here it's 2 lines. What is this? This indicates the consanguineous mating. So, 2 lines or double lines between the square and a circle, that means between male and female, it indicates the consanguineous mating, that is nothing but marriage between the relatives. Okay, marriage between the relatives, or it is called as consanguineous mating, indicated by double lines here. And next, how to write the parents and how to write the children. So, this completely, this one, it indicates the parents above. In the first line, parents, male and female parent, and here in this below line, the children are indicated. Okay, children are indicated in the birth order itself, from the left to the right. That means the left individual is first born children, and second born children child, and third born child, etc. So, this is the first born child. Okay, so from the left to right we are indicating the birth order. So, first individual, birth ಆದಂತಹ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಬಿ ಅಥವಾ ಚೈಲ್ಡನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, how many children are there, in that order itself, from the left to right we are indicating the children below the parents. Okay, parents are above, below it's children. And next, see, same thing, but here the shaded square, that means parents with affected male child, parents with affected male child. So, these are some of the standard symbols used in pedigree analysis, or when we write the pedigree chart, we use this standard symbols. So, there are two representative pedigree charts here in your syllabus. These are the two pedigree charts for the analysis of two different kinds of disorders or traits. Okay. So, the first one is this pedigree chart is used to study, or this represents the inheritance of an autosomal dominant trait. Okay. This pedigree chart represents the inheritance of an autosomal dominant trait. Example, there are many autosomal dominant traits. One such example is myotonic dystrophy. Okay, myotonic dystrophy. And what is mean by autosomal dominant trait? Autosomes. Okay, so this gene is present on the autosome. Gene that is responsible for this trait or present on the autosomes, somatic chromosomes, and they are dominant, or it is dominant. So, the gene responsible for this trait is present on the autosome and it's a dominant. So, it is called as autosomal dominant trait. So, this pedigree analysis for this autosomal dominant trait example is myotonic dystrophy. So, another pedigree analysis representation is for autosomal recessive trait. Okay, autosomal recessive trait. Again, it's autosomal, gene is present on the autosomes and it's a recessive. You know what is mean by recessive, correct? In heterozygous condition, that gene can't express itself. Example is sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia. So, here you can find these are the parents. It's affected female because circle with shading. Here it's unaffected male, and this represents, this level represents the offsprings of these parents. 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And this third child marries a unaffected female. Here also the affected female child or female marries a unaffected male. So, here 4 offsprings of these parents. E parents in offsprings 1, 2, 3 and 4. E third child or third offspring marries a normal unaffected female. Here the affected female marries a unaffected male. Okay, idu again marriage agiruvantadu. Actual children of these parents are 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the next generation, see, third individual married a normal or unaffected female. In the next generation, they had 3 children. Two are unaffected female and 1 is unaffected male. And here also, when affected female marries a unaffected male, then they had 3 children. Out of 3, 2 are unaffected male and 1 is affected female. So, this indicates the autosomal dominant trait. And remember, in case of dominant traits, in every generation you can see the disorder, correct? In every generation you can see the disorder. See, wherever you can find the affected parent, then the offsprings also gets affected because it's dominant, right? See, here the mother was affected, right? Mother was affected. So, here both male or the female child gets disease. Here also, see, when the one of the parent is showing the disease, then in the next generation offspring will show the disease. This is how the dominant characters gets inherited. And if you consider this autosomal recessive trait, it's a recessive. When both the parents shows that gene, then only the individual gets a disease. That inheritance pattern we will discuss later when we discuss individual chromosomal disorders like sickle cell anemia and so on. We will have to discuss that later. Next thing we are going to discuss is genetic disorders. Okay, genetic disorders. These are also called as genetically inherited diseases. Genetically inherited diseases. So, genetic disorders are nothing but genetically inherited diseases. That means these diseases, they inherit or they transmit from one generation to the another generation, or you can say these diseases can be transmitted from parents to the offsprings. From parents to the offspring. So, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದುವೇ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆಡ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್. ದೆರ್ ಆರ್ two types of genetic disorders. One first type is called as Mendelian disorders. Mendelian disorders, and another type is called as chromosomal disorders or chromosomal aberrations or chromosomal abnormalities. Okay, these are the two types of genetic disorders. One is Mendelian disorders and one more is chromosomal disorders. So, what is mean by Mendelian disorder? See, Mendelian disorder is due to the alteration or mutation in single gene. Okay, Mendelian disorder is due to alteration or mutation. Mendelian disorder is due to the alteration or change or the mutation in single gene. So, when that particular disorder is due to the change in the single gene or due to the mutation or alteration or changes or mutation in the single gene, then that type of genetic disorders are called as Mendelian disorders. One gene, okay, one gene gets affected or changed, and these Mendelian disorders follow the Mendel's laws. Okay, the laws given by the Mendel's ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಡಾಮಿನೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ, those are followed by the Mendelian disorders. So, Mendelian disorders, they follow the law of Mendel's or Mendel's laws. And chromosomal aberrations or chromosomal disorders are nothing but the disorders is due to the excess or absence or change, abnormal arrangement or abnormal arrangement of one or more chromosomes. So, these are called as chromosomal aberrations. So, what are chromosomal disorders? The disorders occurs due to the presence of excess chromosomes. That means more chromosomes than the usual number. Okay, usual number ಇಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ chromosomes ಇದ್ರೆ, or in the absence of chromosomes, when some of the chromosomes are absent. So, the individual do not have that particular number of chromosomes, absence of some chromosomes or abnormal arrangement of the chromosomes also results in the genetically inherited diseases. Those inherited diseases are called as chromosomal disorders or chromosomal aberrations or chromosomal abnormalities anta helteve. These are the two types of genetic disorders: Mendelian disorders, which follow the laws of by the Mendel, and the chromosomal aberrations, it's due to the change in the number or arrangement of one or more chromosomes. Okay, so next we will discuss about some of the Mendelian and chromosomal disorders in the next class.